Okay, let's unpack this. Have you ever found yourself noticing someone who seemed to just, well, disappear from the spotlight for a while,
Yeah.
only to reemerge later, and not just a little bit better, but like astonishingly transformed?
Yeah, almost unrecognizable in a good way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe they're glowing with this new sense of purpose or, effortlessly achieving things that once seemed totally impossible for them.
Or they just carry themselves differently, like with this quiet confidence.
Right. It's almost like they went away to some kind of secret training ground.
That's a perfect way to put it, actually. And it's precisely what we're diving into today. Our source material, it's this really fascinating piece titled, Why Someone Who Disappeared for 1 Year Came Back 10 Times Better. And it doesn't just ask if this happens, but digs deep into how.
Okay, so the mechanics behind it.
Exactly. It meticulously outlines 6 profound shifts, and it reveals that this isn't about some sudden miracle, or like a stroke of luck from outside.
Right, no magic wands involved.
None. It's about silent internal growth that pretty consistently leads to this undeniable external brilliance. The core message that really resonates, I think, is this. While maybe no one knows the quiet, often pretty unglamorous work you put in during those, say, 365 days of focused effort.
The grind?
Yeah, the grind. Everyone will certainly see the radiance, the obvious growth, when you return.
And our mission for this deep dive, then, is to sort of extract the most potent, the most practical nuggets of knowledge from this source. We want to offer you, the listener, a genuine shortcut to understanding how this kind of transformation isn't just possible, but maybe even repeatable.
Yeah, moving beyond just inspiration.
Right. We're talking about actionable wisdom, surprising insights that might just, flip your perspective a bit, and those aha moments that you can maybe start applying to your own life almost immediately.
It's not just passive listening, is it?
Definitely not. It's about equipping you to move from simply hoping for change to, well, actively, systematically creating it. Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting and maybe a little uncomfortable for some of us to confront.
Uh-oh.
Many of us start with the best intentions, right? We hope for a better job. We wish we could finally lose that weight. Or maybe we pray to become more disciplined.
Write that book. Get finances sorted. The usual suspects.
Exactly. This source immediately highlights how simply wishing or praying for things can, kind of surprisingly, be one of the most insidious traps we fall into.
A trap. How so?
Well, it's like a silent inhibitor of actual progress.
Yeah.
Almost invisible.
That's fascinating. Because hope and inspiration feel so positive, don't they? They're powerful initial sparks, for sure. They ignite that desire for change.
Yeah.
But often, and this is the kind of tragic part, they become this comfortable delusion. We feel like we're doing something constructive, we're thinking positively, mentally, envisioning the outcome we want.
Right. You feel like you've taken a step just by wanting it badly enough.
Exactly. But in reality, what we're often doing is just entrusting our entire future to luck or fate or some external force without any real tangible movement from our side. The source uses this analogy. It's like hoping for rain to quench your thirst without ever thinking of finding your own water or, digging your own well.
Ah, okay. You're waiting for the universe to deliver something you could actually go out and pursue yourself.
Precisely. It's passive waiting versus active creation.
So if I'm getting this right, it's not that hope itself is bad,
No, not at all. Hope is essential.
but it can become a substitute for actually doing something.
That's exactly it. This I wish attitude, this passive hoping, it gives us this false sense of action. Like we've mentally checked a box, addressed the problem.
Even though we haven't actually moved an inch.
Right. The source is pretty direct, actually. It says after wishing, everything remains the same. There's no inherent reward in our brain for just wishing. It doesn't register as an accomplishment. It creates what behavioral scientists sometimes call the intention-behavior gap.
Intention-behavior gap. Okay.
Yeah, we have these strong intentions, but they rarely translate into actual behavior because there's no concrete bridge between the wanting and the doing.
That makes perfect sense. I mean, think about it. How many things have you, listening right now, wished for? Truly, deep down. And how many of those actually succeeded just by some stroke of luck versus by your consistent, sometimes really hard action? When I look back at my own life, the moments of real change, they rarely came from just hoping a solution would land in my lap.
It really begs the question for all of us, doesn't it? What truly makes the difference then? The profound shift, as the source really clearly illustrates, is from I wish I had it to I will act to get it.
Okay, So declaration of action.
Yes, but it's more than just saying it. It's not merely positive thinking or some vague affirmation you repeat. It's a fundamental change in your whole life's posture. It's a shift in your internal, what psychologists call the locus of control, moving from waiting to be acted upon to actively creating.
Recognizing you're the main driver.
You are the primary agent of change in your own life. Absolutely.
Our source gives a fantastic real-life example of this. James Clear, right? The author of Atomic Habits.
Oh, yeah, great example.
When he was a high school baseball player, he had this truly horrific, near-fatal injury. Swollen brain, broken nose, on a ventilator. Just awful.
Terrible.
In that moment, I mean, he undoubtedly wished and hoped like crazy to recover, just to be normal again. Who wouldn't?
Of course.
But the key is, he didn't stop there. He didn't just pray for a miracle and then wait for it to happen.
Exactly. James seemed to understand, maybe instinctively at first, that prayer or wishing alone wasn't going to, knit his bones back together or rebuild his brain function.
Right, he had to participate in his own rescue.
Precisely. So he built these small disciplines, like brick by brick, every single day. He started by just focusing on standing up, then taking one deliberate step, then gradually reintroducing exercise, meticulously adjusting his diet, controlling his sleep, diligently journaling his progress.
These weren't huge, dramatic gestures then.
Not at all. They were repetitive, small actions, mostly unseen by others, that slowly but surely turned into powerful habits. This wasn't about waiting for his body to magically heal. It was about creating the best possible conditions for healing through consistent, tiny efforts.
And that shift in mindset, from just wishing for recovery to actively doing what was needed.
It completely altered the trajectory of his life, didn't it? Turning him from someone barely surviving into a strong athlete and, eventually, this world-renowned author who teaches these very principles.
It's incredible. And there's another example the source uses, Colonel Sanders, KFC.
The Colonel.
I mean, picture this. Over 60 years old, broke, no restaurant, no fame, just a fried chicken recipe and this, well, audacious dream.
Quite the starting point.
He hoped, I'm sure, for success. But when he realized no one was just going to magically show up and help him.
He pivoted hard.
Yeah, he shifted into pure, unadulterated action mode.
He did. He didn't sit around waiting for the phone to ring. He started knocking on doors himself. Drove his old car, apparently slept in the back sometimes.
Wow.
Traveling to hundreds of restaurants, pitching his recipe, and the rejections. He faced rejection over 1,000 times.
1,000 times. That's staggering persistence.
It is. Before the 1,000th+ restaurant finally accepted his unusual franchise idea, I mean, think about the sheer volume of no's. If he'd just clung to that I wish mindset, relying on chance or waiting for someone to discover him.
AFFC wouldn't exist.
Exactly. The global brand we know today just wouldn't be here. His story is such a powerful testament to relentless, self-initiated, often unglamorous action.
So the core message here isn't about needing to perform impossible feats then.
Not at all.
You don't have to do anything massive or dramatic to start. The source is really clear. Start with small, immediately manageable actions today. If you want to be healthier, don't wait to sign up for that expensive gym membership you might not use.
Yeah.
Just take a brisk walk around your house right now.
Lower the barrier to entry as much as possible.
Yeah.
Exactly. Or if you've been dreaming about creating content, don't wait for fancy equipment. Start filming short videos on your phone today, even if they're just for yourself at first.
Okay.
If you want to sell something, try posting just one thing for sale online. See what happens. An experiment.
Get the ball rolling.
Yeah. If you want to learn a new skill, open YouTube, find a free course, and just start watching now. The world, it seems, disproportionately rewards those who dare to move, more than those who only dare to hope.
Even if the movement is clumsy at first.
Absolutely. Even imperfect action, stumbled through, is infinitely better than just sitting still and dreaming. The crucial message, the real nugget here is, don't wait to be ready.
That's a big one.
It is,
Yeah.
because that elusive feeling of readiness, it comes through the action, not before it. It's the consistent repetition of these tiny actions that slowly rewires your brain for success and builds real, tangible momentum.
This is a powerful question, maybe a bit uncomfortable. We all need to ask ourselves then. If you don't change now, when will your life truly change? If you keep just wishing but not acting, will you honestly be different 1 year from today?
It's often a painful question because the honest answer, if we stay on the same path, is probably no.
Don't let your future just be this floating hope. Turn your wishes into immediate, however small, actions.
And your life will transform, silently at first, perhaps, but profoundly in every area.
Okay, moving on. In our, fast-paced, hyper-connected world, there's this pervasive feeling, almost suffocating sometimes.
Yeah.
This belief that if you're not successful now, like rich by 25, famous by 30, CEO by 35, you're somehow inherently behind.
Oh, the comparison trap. It's brutal.
Totally. Everything is rushed. Everything's compared to these curated online highlight reels. And patience. It just seems like a forgotten virtue, devalued almost.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, to what the source is saying, many of us forget this fundamental truth about genuine accomplishment. Success isn't a sprint, is it? It's a long, often pretty arduous journey. It requires stamina, stability, consistency.
Like a marathon, not a 100-meter dash.
Exactly. It's more like planting a tiny seed and then patiently allowing nature to do its profound work. You wouldn't expect a huge oak tree to shoot up overnight, would you?
No, of course not.
That seemingly insignificant acorn with consistent light, good soil, steady water, slowly but surely, it becomes this majestic shade tree. Not because it was inherently special at first glance, but because it didn't stop growing. Even during those long periods when no one saw its roots expanding underground or its tiny shoot barely breaking the surface.
That's a great metaphor. The most important growth is often unseen before it becomes undeniable strength.
Precisely. It's the invisible foundation being built.
So what are the dangers, then, of trying to rush that process, of constantly pushing for that instant gratification?
Well, rushing might look positive, like ambition, right? But it harbors quite a few subtle dangers. Primarily, it causes burnout, deep burnout, often before you're even halfway there. You get exhausted, disillusioned, and you just give up too soon.
You flame out.
You flame out, and you become so fixated on the distant finish line that you forget to appreciate the actual journey. You miss acknowledging your own efforts along the way.
You don't celebrate the small wins.
Exactly. You deny yourself those small victories, the process itself, which is actually where true resilience is forged.
And crucially, it makes us constantly compare our tiny, often invisible progress to the massive, finished achievements of others we see online.
Yes, that leads to that pervasive feeling of hopelessness. You look at someone else's polished end result and ask, why aren't I there yet?
It's incredibly demotivating.
It really is. That constant, unfair comparison fueled by this instant gratification culture can convince you you're failing before you've even properly begun.
So what's the reality, then?
The reality is no one, absolutely no one, reaches a significant goal without stumbling, without getting lost sometimes, without facing moments of profound doubt.
Everyone struggles.
Everyone struggles. Every single success story, when you really look closely, involves uncertainty, mistakes, and often long periods of just waiting for things to fall into place. The answer lies in cultivating this attitude where not being there yet doesn't mean failure. It just means I am on my way.
Shifting the definition of progress.
Exactly. Accepting that setbacks, detours, delays, they aren't signs of defeat. They're integral, often necessary parts of the growth journey itself.
Okay, so how do we cultivate that deep, patient mindset? Especially when the world is shouting, faster, now, more.
Well, the source suggests starting by just stopping measuring yourself purely by speed, like consciously decide not to do that.
Easier said than done, maybe.
Perhaps. But try looking at yourself like that tree we talked about, deepening its roots. You might not see immediate external results, no new awards, no public praise, but deep beneath the surface.
The foundation's getting stronger.
Your root system is expanding, preparing you for future sustainable greatness. This root building, it's quiet, often unglamorous, but absolutely essential. It holds immense invisible value.
So learn to value the unseen work.
Yes. Learn to be proud of your unseen efforts. Be proud of the days you desperately wanted to give up when everything screamed stop, but you woke up and chose to fight again.
Showed up for yourself.
Exactly. Be proud of the days you got zero praise or external validation, but you still acted. You still did the work. These are the true, quiet signs of sustainable success building within you. This internal pride, the pride derived from consistent action despite external silence, it's far more valuable and enduring than any fleeting applause.
That's a really powerful shift. And another thing that helps value each step is changing perspective from just the destination to appreciating the progress itself. Instead of always asking, why haven't I reached the goal yet? Ask different questions.
Like what?
Like, did I move forward just a little bit today? What did I do yesterday that I never quite dared to do before? How disciplined was I in those small, seemingly insignificant things this week?
Focusing on what you can control.
Exactly. These questions shift your focus to what you are achieving daily. It reinforces your agency, builds that sense of self-efficacy.
Success, you see, it isn't some random reward given by chance. It's more like a profound gift given to those who simply keep moving forward,
Even when it's slow.
especially when it's slow. You might, quite understandably, feel worthless or frustrated if you don't see immediate results or get that external recognition. We all crave that sometimes. But the power to fundamentally change your life, it never actually leaves you. It's just patiently waiting for you to fully use it.
Like that seed again.
Exactly like that tiny seed waiting for the right balance of light and rain to finally blossom into its full, magnificent potential. You might not even realize your own capabilities until you're patient enough to nurture them and see them truly flourish.
So the message is, you don't need to succeed fast. Just don't stop developing.
Keep growing.
You don't need praise from others. Just know deep down you're making real, authentic progress.
Trust the process.
You don't need everything today. Because one day, the accumulated results of all your quiet, consistent efforts will be loud enough, clear enough, undeniably radiant enough for everyone to see and hear.
It's about the long game.
A good life isn't about frantically rushing to some finish line. It's about never stopping your own magnificent journey of growth. You have the right to create that life.
So don't rush. Don't let discouragement win. And never, ever underestimate the silent, profound power of your own steady growth.
So remember this. You are not slow. You are deep.
I like that.
You haven't lost. You're growing silently beneath the surface, building an incredible foundation.
And when you're finally ready to bear fruit, to stand tall in your transformed self, the world will see clearly that what grows slowly is truly stronger, more resilient, and ultimately more magnificent.
Okay, let's talk about goals. Most of us know the ritual, right? Setting those big, inspiring goals at the start of the year.
New Year's resolutions.
Yeah. We write down what we want to achieve. New career heights, saving a ton of money, learning Spanish, whatever it is. We feel that surge of motivation, that burst of energy.
Feels good in the moment.
Totally.
Yeah.
But for so many people, shockingly, less than 3 months in, those ambitious goals just seem to fade away, like morning fog. Poof.
It's a common story. And this raises a really important question that, frankly, a lot of people struggle with. Why does this happen so often?
Is it because the goals are too big?
Rarely. It's not usually because the goals themselves are bad or unrealistic. The deeper issue, as our source really highlights, is that we fundamentally lack a clear, actionable map to get there.
A map.
Yeah, a one-year goal, no matter how inspiring it feels, without a detailed plan backing it up. It's like knowing you desperately want to drive to, say, Chiang Mai,
Okay.
but having absolutely no idea which provinces you need to pass through or where you should stop for gas or rest or even roughly how long the whole trip will take.
You just have the destination, but no route.
Exactly. And the consequence of not having that map,
You get lost. Give up.
pretty much. When you inevitably get tired, when daily life gets overwhelming, when distractions pop up, which they always do, you hesitate. You might turn back, you stop completely, or you just sort of forget where you were even intending to go.
Daily life just pulls you off course.
Yeah, the accumulated fatigue, the constant demands, they slowly, almost imperceptibly pull you away from your goal without you even realizing it sometimes. That initial burst of motivation, it can only carry you so far.
So if a goal isn't meticulously broken down, it really just stays a beautiful but ultimately unreachable floating dream.
Sad but true.
But a big audacious goal, when you systematically break it down into smaller, digestible, monthly, and then even weekly plans, suddenly it transforms.
How so?
It goes from being this abstract aspiration in your head to a concrete, actionable daily mission.
Okay. Think of it simply. The grand goal is your desired destination, right?
Yep.
That dream future you're aiming for. But the sub-plans, the micro goals, those are the actual road, the path, the individual steps that take you there. No one travels a long distance in one giant instantaneous leap. It just doesn't happen.
Right.
True, sustainable success comes from thousands of small, consistent steps. Not one giant jump that you do once and then forget about. It's the cumulative power of those tiny actions that builds into something really significant.
Okay, so how do we actually start this mapping process? Where do we begin?
Our source suggests starting by asking yourself, what are the most important aspects of your life you genuinely want to change this year? Is it finances, health, developing a specific skill? improving relationships, focusing on mental well-being.
Don't try to do everything at once.
Exactly. Resist that urge.
Okay.
Choose just 1 to 3 areas that really resonate deeply with you right now. Areas where you feel the most genuine desire for change. Quality over quantity.
Okay, focus on 1 to 3 key areas. Then what?
Then, and this is absolutely a crucial drill down, make it concrete. Don't just say, I want to save money. That's way too vague. It gives you nothing to grab onto. So be specific.
Very specific. Instead, aim for something like, I want to save 100,000 baht in 12 months by saving 8,500 baht per month and cutting specific expenses like my daily fancy coffee runs.
Okay, measurable and actionable?
Exactly. Specific, tangible goals have exponentially more power than vague aspirations like, I want to be rich. That sounds nice, but it gives you no clear starting point, no direction. This is where those principles of SMART goals really come in handy naturally.
Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound. Got it.
Right. And then you take that concrete goal and create monthly sub-plans.
Break it down further.
Yep. So for that 100,000 baht financial goal, January's mission could be learn the basics of financial planning and track all my income and expenses daily. February might be aim for a minimum saving of 3,000 baht by actively reducing snacks and impulse buys. March could focus on finding a supplementary income source by selling old stuff online.
Ah, okay. Smaller, manageable chunks. That feels much less overwhelming than just staring at the big 100,000 number. Precisely. And you can go even further. Break those monthly goals down into weekly goals.
Even smaller steps.
Yeah. So for January's financial planning, week 1 might be read 1 foundational book on personal finance. Week 2, track income and expenses every single day using an app. Week 3, try posting something for sale online for the very first time, even if it's just one small item. Week 4, evaluate and adjust your initial saving plan based on what you've learned and done so far.
Wow, okay. That granular breakdown really helps you see actual progress, doesn't it?
Okay.
Rather than feeling constantly overwhelmed by this huge, distant goal.
Exactly. And seeing those tangible steps completed, maybe ticking them off a checklist, that provides a powerful dose of internal motivation. A little dopamine hit, even when you're feeling tired or discouraged, it keeps you going.
There's a really vital power in these broken down goals too, isn't there? They fundamentally transform from just a wishful dream floating around in your head.
Into concrete daily missions.
Right? Initial inspiration is great. It's that burst of emotional energy that gets you started. We all love that feeling.
But it fades, doesn't it?
It does. Emotional energy can be unreliable. But daily action, consistently following these detailed plans, that builds something far more robust and powerful.
Discipline.
Exactly. Discipline. And discipline is what truly wins in the long run. Even when you're exhausted, when that initial motivation is completely worn off, and when there's absolutely no external praise coming your way.
So how do you stay on track with this plan? Life gets busy.
Good question. Our source suggests several practical tips. Use a planner or a daily app. Keep your tasks visible.
Makes sense. Out of sight, out of mind.
Right. Leverage habit trackers to visually see your progress. Creating that chain of consistency can be really compelling.
Yeah, you don't want to break the chain.
Consider finding an accountability partner, someone with a similar goal. Knowing someone else is kind of counting on you can be a huge motivator.
Shared struggle, shared success.
And importantly, reward yourself monthly. Small, meaningful incentives when you hit those sub-goals. Celebrate the milestones.
And crucially, make it a habit to actually review your goals at the start of each month. Realign. Ensure you haven't forgotten the specific path you're on amidst the chaos of daily life.
The source offers this really powerful comparison that crystallizes the whole idea. Imagine 2 people who want to get healthy.
Okay.
Person 1 vaguely says, I'll exercise this year. No real plan. They might start strong in January, full of resolution.
Feel the burn for a week or 2.
Yeah, but they inevitably quit when they get tired or busy. They slide back into their old habits.
Familiar story.
Person 2, however, writes down, I want to be able to run 5 kilometers comfortably in 6 months. Then they meticulously plan out weekly steps. Week 1, walk 10 minutes daily. Week 2, jog 1 kilometers daily. And they diligently record their progress.
Ah, the system versus the wish.
Exactly. The second person isn't relying on fleeting inspiration, that unreliable friend. They're relying on a robust, well-designed system.
And that system consistently transforms them into a daily exerciser.
Right. The only fundamental difference between them is this. One kept the goal vaguely in their mind, just hoping it would somehow materialize. The other broke it down into an actionable, traceable path.
And the results, you can easily imagine, are dramatically different. It's a clear illustration of how detailed planning leads directly to undeniable, sustainable outcomes.
You absolutely can change your life this way. You don't need to wait for some magical surge of inspiration, and please, don't wait for everything to be perfect before you start. That day never comes.
Perfectionism is the enemy of progress here.
Totally. Just choose one goal, then take the time, invest the effort to map out those small, granular steps. Don't rush the process, but crucially, just don't stop.
Consistency over intensity sometimes.
Exactly. Don't aim for perfection in your actions. Aim for unwavering consistency. By the end of the year, you will be profoundly proud of every single small step you took. Far more proud than of any good intention that never actually materialized. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Let's talk about regret. Self-forgiveness. We all carry them, don't we? Those nagging things we regret.
Oh, yeah. Mistakes made, opportunities missed.
Words we shouldn't have said, decisions we desperately wish we hadn't made. But here's the often overlooked truth. The longer we cling to these past mistakes,
The heavier they become.
exactly, they become this invisible but incredibly heavy burden, anchoring us to the past, preventing us from truly moving forward into a better future.
And this raises a really important, maybe sensitive question, one that touches the core of our well-being. It's not always that other people haven't forgiven us for our missteps. Often, the real problem is that we haven't forgiven ourselves.
We are our own harshest critics.
Often, yes. Not forgiving yourself is like imprisoning your own spirit in the past, even though every single new day offers a fresh start, a blank slate, a chance to choose differently. It's like trying to climb a steep mountain while deliberately carrying this heavy, useless rock that just weighs you down with every single step.
Or like that negative self-talk loop.
Exactly. Repeatedly telling yourself, I'm not good enough, I messed up too badly, I don't deserve happiness, I can never get past this.
Yeah.
These internal monologues, this relentless negative self-talk, they slowly but powerfully erode your potential. They diminish who you are truly capable of becoming.
That's a powerful point. I've seen it, and honestly felt it myself sometimes. That people don't falter because of external obstacles, but because they simply cannot forgive themselves for past errors. So how do you know? How do you know if your guilt, your self-blame, is actually harming you, rather than serving as some kind of constructive lesson?
The answer lies in the feeling that consistently follows when you reflect on that mistake. If thinking about it just drains your energy, leaves you feeling exhausted and demotivated, if it makes you deeply reluctant to start anew, to even try again,
If it makes you hate yourself, or fear dreaming big again.
right, then that guilt has undeniably become a chain, not a helpful lesson. Mistakes, ideally, should make us grow. They should guide us, not sink us into despair.
So a mistake is a teacher if it shows you what not to do again.
Exactly. If it shows you a path not to take, it's a valuable teacher. But if it makes you feel you can never be better, that you are permanently defined by that one mistake, then you must find the courage to release it. Let it go.
It's a conscious choice.
It's a process of, you could say, cognitive restructuring.
Yeah.
Actively choosing to reframe that memory and its meaning in your life story.
Self-forgiveness, then, isn't about forgetting what happened. It's not condoning bad behavior or pretending it didn't occur.
No, absolutely not.
It's profoundly about accepting that it did happen, acknowledging the reality, and then consciously choosing not to let that past event control or define your present and your future life.
Facing the past with sincerity.
Yes, understanding its lessons, extracting the wisdom, and then choosing actively to move forward with a lighter heart.
Someone who truly forgives themselves isn't someone who magically erases the past. That's impossible. Rather, it's someone who learns from it deeply without allowing it to define their inherent worth right now or their future potential.
Okay, so what are the steps? How do you actually do that? It sounds simple, but feels hard.
It requires courage and emotional intelligence for sure. The steps are conceptually simple, but take practice. 1. Accept humanity. Acknowledge, without judging yourself harshly, that as humans we are inherently fallible, we're imperfect, and making mistakes is an unavoidable part of learning and growing. This isn't an excuse, it's just acknowledging reality.
Oh, you all mess up.
We all mess up. 2. Accept the past. Fully accept what happened without making excuses, without trying to rewrite history in your head, without minimizing the impact it had. Radical acceptance is the crucial first step to letting go.
Facing it head on.
Yes. 3. Process emotions. Allow yourself to genuinely grieve, to feel sadness, regret, anger, whatever emotions are tied to that mistake. Don't suppress them. Feeling is part of healing. Find a safe space journaling, talking to a trusted friend, therapy, just allowing yourself to cry. Let it move through you.
Don't bottle it up.
Exactly. And 4, learn and move forward. This is the critical pivot point. Ask yourself, what specific actionable lesson did I learn from this? How can I ensure I prevent this from happening again? And maybe most importantly, how can I use this mistake, this painful lesson, to create new power, new understanding, and positive change in my life going forward?
Turning the burden into a catalyst.
Precisely. That reframe is everything.
No one truly can go back in time and change what happened. We all know that.
If only.
Yeah. But absolutely everyone can change themselves today to avoid repeating those same mistakes tomorrow. You possess the inherent right to choose anew every single day.
It's a daily choice.
Don't let yesterday dictate all the possibilities of tomorrow. Don't allow pain to become this impenetrable wall around your heart. Instead, try to turn it into a ladder, a stepping stone, and climb towards a better future with a heart that has compassionately forgiven itself.
The source shares a story about someone called T. It illustrates this really well. T made a truly devastating mistake, left a stable, secure job to invest unwisely in something he knew nothing about, trusted the wrong people, maybe got greedy, lost every single penny of his life savings.
Oh, wow. That's rough.
Very rough. But even worse than the money, he felt he'd profoundly disappointed his parents who had sacrificed so much for him. That burden became immense.
The shame and guilt.
Exactly. He isolated himself completely, stopped talking to friends, wouldn't go out, just constantly replaying this mental tape loop. I was so stupid. I'm worthless. I don't deserve another chance.
These self-deprecating thoughts were relentless, just eating away at him.
Sounds like a dark place.
It was. Nearly a year passed like this, in this self-imposed exile of self-loathing. Then one day, just by chance, he heard a story about someone else who had lost everything, think just like him. But this other person had chosen to use their mistake as a profound teacher, learned from it, rebuilt their life, and actually came back stronger.
T apparently cried profusely that day, a deep, cleansing cry, because he realized with this agonizing clarity that he had never once given himself a real chance to recover. He'd been his own harshest jailer all along.
That realization must have been painful but freeing.
It was a turning point. He started journaling. On one page, he wrote down all his mistakes, all the shame, all the guilt, got it all out. Then, on a fresh page, he started writing about who he wanted to become from that moment forward. Not to impress anyone else, not to prove anything externally, but purely for himself. To propel himself forward, find his own internal freedom.
Taking control of the narrative.
Exactly. Today, the story goes, T isn't super wealthy in money terms, but he's built a small, successful business. And it's built directly on the new knowledge, the hard-won wisdom, and the resilience he gained from that painful failure. He apparently tells himself every morning, I am not my mistake. I am a person who is growing.
That's powerful.
And he started smiling at his reflection again, something he hadn't done for years because he hated the person staring back. That is the profound liberation of self-forgiveness.
Wow. That really is the immense power of it, isn't it? It's not about condoning or forgetting. It's about loving yourself enough to choose to start anew.
Everyone makes mistakes. It's just part of being human.
But not everyone dares to stand up again after falling so hard. And if you're listening, know this, truly. You have the inherent right to change your story. You are not defined by what you did wrong.
You are defined by what you choose to do from this very moment forward.
So don't wait for others to grant you forgiveness. That might never come.
The most important forgiveness, the most liberating, the most transformative forgiveness is the one that happens between you and yourself. If you can open your heart, consciously leave the past where it belongs, and take that courageous step forward as someone ready to love yourself again. Your new, radiantly transformed life begins the very moment you truly, profoundly forgive yourself.
Let's talk about fear now. It's such a primal emotion, right? We often associate it with big traumatic events, a car crash, a major loss.
The big stuff.
But our source sheds light on a more, maybe, insidious type of fear. One that often accumulates quietly from all the small, everyday things we repeatedly avoid doing.
What kind of things?
Things like speaking our true feelings directly to a loved one instead of hinting or avoiding. Asking a clarifying question in a meeting when you're confused instead of just nodding along.
Saying a firm no to an unreasonable request instead of just agreeing to keep the peace.
Right. Or even something that seems really small, like walking into a restaurant alone for the first time. Starting something new where you know you'll be a beginner.
Ah, okay. those everyday anxieties. They might seem small, almost negligible in the moment, but every single time we avoid them.
Our brain logs it.
Basically, yes. Our brain subtly registers them as things to be afraid of. Psychologically, the human brain isn't just remembering what we fear, it's crucially remembering what we avoid.
So avoidance reinforces the fear.
Exactly. Every time we shy away from something small that we know deep down we probably should do, we're effectively telling our amygdala, the brain's fear center, that this situation is dangerous. We're reinforcing a neural pathway for avoidance. Over time, this accumulates. It expands into this broad, generalized fear that impacts our overall confidence and our willingness to fully engage with life. It's like a muscle that weakens from lack of use.
Okay, but conversely then, if we slowly, maybe gently move towards what we fear,
Even if we're trembling inside, heart pounding.
yeah, even then, our brain gradually begins to understand that, okay, maybe this isn't as dangerous as I initially perceived.
And that, right there, that tiny shift in perception, that's the true start of lasting change. That's where genuine bravery begins to build.
And this is the crucial, maybe counterintuitive part that the source emphasizes. Don't wait for the fear to magically disappear before you start.
Right. That's like waiting for the ocean to become perfectly calm before you decide to learn to swim. It's never going to happen.
Courage doesn't come before the action.
No. It comes after we decide to move. Even while we're still feeling afraid, still feeling profoundly unsure. This is the essence of exposure therapy, really, just simplified for everyday life.
Taking small, brave steps.
Incremental, brave steps that gradually desensitize that fear response.
So practicing these small, maybe scary things daily is the most powerful way to gradually train your mind to believe, hey, I can handle this.
Exactly. You don't need to force yourself into huge, overwhelming actions that just paralyze you. Identify those small, uncomfortable things you used to fear and just commit to getting through them, one day at a time.
Confidence doesn't just arrive fully formed then.
Not at all. It's not like a prepackaged gift. It builds from within, incrementally, with each tiny yet courageous victory over avoidance.
And the consequences of constantly avoiding things, they're quite pervasive, aren't they?
They really are. Fearing to say no might make you agree to everything, leaving you with zero time for yourself, leading to resentment, burnout.
Been there.
Yeah. Fearing public speaking might make you miss key career opportunities, blocking your professional growth, preventing your voice and ideas from being heard.
Fearing new beginnings. Fearing the unknown.
That can keep you perpetually stuck in unhappiness, right? Just circling the same comfortable but ultimately unfulfilling path, never daring to explore what else might be out there for you.
But here's the liberating part. As we practice these small acts of courage daily,
And we
consistently,
start to see behind the curtain.
exactly, we consistently begin to see that behind that scary veil of fear, there's often nothing as catastrophic or as bad as our anxious minds imagined.
The monster shrinks when you face it.
Perfectly put. We gradually become people who dare to choose, who dare to speak our truth, who dare to express ourselves authentically.
And this isn't about fundamentally changing your core personality. You're still you.
Right. It's about profoundly changing how you respond to fear.
Yeah.
And that internal shift is incredibly liberating. It opens up so much possibility.
Okay, so practically, how do you even begin to identify what you fear? Especially those small, sneaky ones.
Good question. It's often what, deep down you should probably do, but have always habitually found ways to avoid.
The things you procrastinate on or make excuses about?
Could be. Start by maybe creating a personal fear inventory. Just let's list them out. Maybe rate them from mild to severe, 1 to 10.
Okay, get it out of your head and onto paper.
Yeah. Then, and this is key, choose to start with a fear that's maybe a 3 out of 10 in intensity. Something that feels uncomfortable, but not completely overwhelming.
Don't tackle the biggest dragon first.
Exactly. You don't need to tackle your most paralyzing fear right out of the gate. The initial goal is simply to train your brain through repeated small successes that you can overcome fear.
Build momentum and self-efficacy.
Right. Once you conquer those smaller, more manageable fears, you'll have built the neural pathways and the confidence, the self-belief, to be much more prepared to face the larger ones later.
Okay, so you identify a small fear. You decide to tackle it. What then?
Plan ahead, even just mentally. Tell yourself, okay, today I will bravely do this one thing no matter the outcome. Focus on the action, not the result.
Detach from the outcome.
Yeah. Then, crucially, reward yourself when you actually do it. Doesn't have to be big. Tick a box, journal about how it felt, or simply offer yourself a quiet internal thank you for being brave.
Acknowledge the effort.
And remember, Don't wait to feel confident before starting. No one is genuinely confident before they begin something new and scary. Confidence comes during the process, as you accumulate that concrete evidence that you can act despite your fear.
And as you consistently engage in these small, brave actions, you'll inevitably start discovering new, resilient sides of yourself you didn't know existed.
Your whole self-perception begins to shift, fundamentally.
It moves from those internal dialogues like, I'm fearful, I'm not brave, I can't do this, to much more powerful, empowering affirmations like, I'm practicing, I'm improving, I'm overcoming myself one day at a time.
That feels like the greatest inner strength.
It really is. It's something no one else can give you. It has to be forged within the crucible of your own conscious choice and courageous action.
And the source points out, the most important inspiration from this practice isn't necessarily the outcome or whether you perform perfectly. Forget perfect.
What is it then?
It's a profound, unyielding refusal to retreat. Simply not retreating, standing your ground even when scared, is a monumental form of victory in itself, regardless of the immediate external result.
Nelson Mandela famously articulated this, didn't he? He said something like, I am not afraid of failure. I am afraid of not standing up after falling.
Wow. And he didn't just say it, he lived it, enduring 27 years in prison.
And refusing to let fear, bitterness, anger, or the crushing weight of the past control his future. He intentionally used every single day in prison, apparently, to train his mind, practice radical forgiveness, build that indomitable inner strength.
And he emerged, not broken, but as this transformational leader who fundamentally changed history.
It's an incredible demonstration that inner resilience and the simple refusal to retreat can overcome even the most formidable external oppression.
You too, listening now, can turn fear into a profound source of power. Not necessarily by changing the world around you overnight.
But by fundamentally changing your own mind, your own internal landscape.
Practice standing where you used to instinctively avoid.
Yeah.
Practice saying what you used to keep silently locked away.
Except that trembling, that rush of adrenaline, that gnawing uncertainty, they're all natural, vital parts of the growth process. Signals that you're stretching yourself.
You don't have to be good before you start. But if you start, even if you stumble, even if you feel unskilled, you'll be immeasurably better than you were when you chose an action.
You have the absolute right to be afraid. That's human. But you also possess the profound right and the power of choice to step directly through that fear.
And nothing, absolutely nothing will make you prouder than the day you finally do something you once feared.
Even if it's imperfect, even if you feel awkward.
Especially then. Because in that moment, you didn't retreat. You took one full, courageous step ahead of yesterday. And that, my friend, is more than enough to start changing your entire life. Okay, final section. Let's talk about spending money. In an era where everything is just relentlessly advertised as desirable.
The pressure to consume is constant.
It really is. We're constantly, almost subconsciously, urged to buy new things.
Right.
The latest fashion trends, slightly upgraded phones, new home decor, trendy collectibles, those elusive lifestyle items.
They flash before us, right? Appearing so appealing, like they're essential life rewards, promising instant happiness, instant status.
But if we look at the deeper picture, the long-term truth,
Hmm.
these material possessions rarely, if ever, genuinely fulfill us internally, do they?
Not really. Once the shiny new thing becomes old or just commonplace, we simply start seeking the next new thing. We get trapped in this repeating cycle of consumption that never truly satisfies that deeper longing. It's fleeting.
Right. But in stark contrast to items that depreciate, that lose value over time.
Experiences never get old. In fact, you could argue they appreciate in value over time.
How so?
Well, think about it. A transformative journey you took years ago. A challenging workshop that completely shifted your perspective. A deeply insightful course that helped you understand yourself better. Even a simple, quiet walk in nature that cleared your head at a critical moment.
Those memories stay with you.
Exactly. They aren't temporary. They don't disappear with time. They get stored in your memory. They fundamentally reshape your mindset. They alter your attitude towards the world, and they can change how you live forever.
So the experiences we thoughtfully invest in, they might not be immediately visible to others, like a fancy car.
Right. No external status symbol necessarily.
But they change us from the inside out. And then maybe everything external naturally follows that internal shift.
Steve Jobs, interestingly, seemed to understand this really deeply. Our source highlights how he consistently emphasized that creativity didn't just stem from sitting passively at a desk.
But from actively accumulating diverse, often seemingly unrelated experiences.
He famously recounts how he once spent money on a, well, seemingly obscure calligraphy course.
Calligraphy. That seems random for a tech guy.
Right. A pursuit that probably no one saw any practical value in at the time. Many likely dismissed it as irrelevant, a frivolous waste of time and money.
Okay.
Yet that seemingly unrelated experience became the foundational starting point for the beautiful fonts, the sophisticated typography in the very first Macintosh computer.
Wow. Which revolutionized personal computing and graphic design.
Exactly. If he'd used that money for, say, a new gadget, a fleeting pleasure, or some home decor, just a temporary fix, he wouldn't have created something with such global, lasting value.
So good experiences aren't just about fleeting happiness.
Not at all. They are the intellectual and emotional capital for new perspectives, for profound breakthroughs, and for cultivating the courage to dare to change things. They are investments in your inner world that can yield exponential, enduring returns.
And if we look deeper into our own motivations for buying stuff, often it isn't about genuinely needing the item itself, is it?
Usually not. It's more often about craving a certain feeling behind the purchase.
Like what?
Sometimes we feel an internal void, maybe a sense of emptiness or boredom, so we buy things to temporarily fill that void. Gives us a little rush.
Sometimes we feel insecure, so we buy things, maybe brand names, to feel temporarily valuable or accepted by others.
Right. Or sometimes we compare ourselves endlessly to others, so we buy things just to feel, even for a fleeting moment, not inferior. Keeping up with the Joneses.
But sadly, those fleeting feelings fade so quickly.
Incredibly quickly. And we inevitably return to the same unfulfilling buying cycle, perpetually searching for the next external fix to soothe an internal issue. It's often called the hedonic treadmill.
Hedonic treadmill. Keep running, but stay in the same place happiness-wise.
Precisely. You keep chasing new pleasures, but your baseline level of happiness never truly increases. A key indicator here is this. If you buy something and feel good only for a brief moment, maybe an hour or a day, but then that familiar emptiness or dissatisfaction quickly returns.
Then it probably wasn't the thing you actually needed.
Exactly. It was likely the feeling you were craving, a feeling that a material item simply cannot provide long-term. Possessions only offer a temporary illusion of genuine fulfillment.
Okay, but unlike material things, when you consciously choose to pay for an experience,
Yeah.
say an online course, a challenging solo trip, attending a transformative lecture, learning a new language.
You gain something tangible but internal. Skills, profound self-knowledge, new ideas. And these things don't disappear. They grow within you, they compound over time, becoming an integral part of who you are.
And investing in experiences also builds deeper, more meaningful relationships, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Think about the lasting bonds forged when traveling with a loved one, navigating challenges together, doing a tough outdoor activity with friends, pushing your limits together, or joining a workshop where you meet new, inspiring people who share your passion.
Shared memory.
Yes. You'll find that the best relationships aren't built on expensive gifts or flashy displays of wealth. They're built on shared moments, moments of laughter, mutual effort, overcoming challenges together. These are memories no material object can ever replace, and they enrich your life in truly profound, immeasurable ways.
So how can we start cultivating this crucial spending discipline, this more mindful approach to our resources? It feels like swimming against the tide sometimes.
It can. Start by simply observing your own patterns, non-judgmentally. What do you truly desire at a core level versus what do you buy impulsively, maybe out of boredom, stress, or trying to escape an uncomfortable feeling? Just notice.
Awareness is the first step.
Always. Once you identify those patterns, maybe set some clear, firm rules for yourself. Gentle rules.
Like what?
For example, before buying any significant non-essential item, implement maybe a 7-day rule. Just wait 7 days. Let the initial impulse cool down. If you still genuinely want it after a week and you can truly afford it, then okay, maybe buy it.
A cooling off period distinguishes need from want.
Exactly. Also, consider setting aside a dedicated portion, say at least 10% of your income or discretionary spending each month, specifically for learning, personal development, travel, or other enriching experiences. Earmark it.
Be intentional about funding experiences.
Yes. Aim to spend money on at least 3 new, maybe slightly challenging or perspective-shifting experiences this year. Could be a new online course, trying yoga or meditation, going on a short solo trip to a nearby town you've never visited, joining a workshop.
Something that stretches you a bit.
Right. Every time you pause before hitting buy or pulling out your wallet and ask yourself that profound question, how will this money truly change me? How long will this item last versus how long will this experience last in my memory and fundamentally reshape my life?
That question really shifts the focus, doesn't it?
It does. You'll start to spend more mindfully, more powerfully, aligning your purchases not with fleeting desires or external pressures, but with your deepest values and your personal growth.
A truly fulfilling life, ultimately, isn't built from accumulating a mountain of possessions.
No matter how nice they are.
It's meticulously crafted. From meaningful moments, from knowledge that profoundly shifts your thinking, from the diverse people you meet in new places, from the invaluable lessons learned from falling and getting back up.
And from the sheer courage to step out of the familiar, the comfortable, to truly learn about the world and maybe most importantly, about yourself.
When you look back on your life years from now, you probably won't regret the old phone you didn't upgrade or the clothes that went out of style.
You'll likely regret the trips not taken, the courses not started, the connections not made.
You'll be profoundly proud you invested in yourself through experiences no one can ever take away. That truly is how money changes life in a lasting, impactful way, not just temporary moods.
Your life, your precious time, your unique potential, it's all far too valuable for something less than genuine growth and meaning.
You deserve experiences that challenge you, expand you, and help you grow into the fullest version of yourself. And the good news is, you can start right now, today, by making more mindful choices with your very next expense. So wow, we've unpacked 6 pretty profound transformative principles from our deep dive today, haven't we?
We really covered some ground.
From that foundational shift of moving your mindset from merely wishing to actively doing, to the crucial acceptance that real depth success takes time and consistent, often unseen effort.
Patience and perseverance.
Yeah, we explored the power of meticulously planning your goals, breaking those big dreams down into small, actionable steps.
The map, not just the destination.
Then we delved into the profound liberation that comes from practicing self-forgiveness, letting go of past mistakes,
Releasing that heavy rock.
bravely facing your fears, one small, incremental step at a time, building courage through action,
Not waiting for fear to disappear.
and finally making that conscious choice to invest your resources in enriching experiences over fleeting material possessions.
Investing in your inner world. Each one, really, is a powerful, often quiet lever for deep, lasting transformation.
And if we connect all of these principles together to the bigger picture, the entire journey of becoming that 10 times better version of yourself.
It's not about some sudden overnight miracle, is it? No magic pill.
Not at all. It is fundamentally about a whole series of deliberate, often very quiet internal choices made consistently over time.
It's about building an inner world, your mindset, your resilience, your wisdom, so strong, so rich with authentic experience and deep self-compassion.
That your outer world simply can't help but eventually reflect that profound inner radiance. It has to manifest externally.
So maybe a final thought for everyone listening as you reflect on this deep dive.
Yeah.
What quiet growth are you cultivating today? What unseen roots are you deepening right now that the world will someday hear, see, and feel?
We truly hope this deep dive has given you plenty to think about and maybe more importantly, some incredibly practical tools to start or perhaps continue your own magnificent journey of transformation.
Keep building those roots.
It's exactly. Thank you so much for joining us on the deep dive. Until next time, keep digging deeper.